Hey, what is going on, guys? It was actually not all that long ago that I reviewed the Actaeon from Sheik Mainland. It's available in a number of different colors, and at that time I let you guys know that I was very much looking forward to the gold-plated version that was coming out. Well, it's out, and I'm super excited to check this one out. So the Actaeon, just model kit design, very cool. I really enjoyed like all of these kits from Sheik Mainland, but I really enjoyed this one, and I'm really looking forward to checking this version out just because I think it looks super cool here. And the really great thing about this is that all of these Sheik Mainland kits are already like very reasonably priced, and you would think for a gold plated kit like this, just from what we're used to from like plated kits from Bandai, usually very expensive, this one's still very affordable as far as gold plated kits go. So does that mean that it's not as good quality? I kind of doubt it. I'm sure I have faith that the quality is going to be really nice, actually. So let's go ahead and dive into it and we'll find out. Let's get started. Before we even get to the runners and the kit itself, even just this box art has me excited just because I think this box art looks really cool there with just the gold plated kit. It's kind of this gold background there. Really nice looking artwork here for the front. We've got some logos and text kind of along each side. This once again has their honorably produced seal here, which again, I'm pretty sure as far as I can tell is just in reference to the fact that this is an original design and not like a copied IP or anything like that. Over on this side, you can see this is a part of the Ultra Action series model kits in 1/44 scale. You have the same, I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce that, but this kind of like a theme here with this banner that we saw with the original kit as well. And then the POK inside, which is that polymer plastic that they use. That's basically for like the joint parts and stuff. So here on the sides of the box, we've got some different art here showing the kit in different poses, kind of covered up by that sticker there. And here on the other side there as well, it looks really cool. The bottom of the box has another image there, and then on the top of the box, another really cool image here. All the text is going to be there in Chinese, and then again you have this Orange Star Workshop logo right there. On the back side, just has the Actaeon naming there and another nice big photo of the kit there basically. And it's pretty cool how it has the limited edition sticker seal here on the side. Let's go ahead and check it out. I'm very anxious to see what these runners are going to look like in here. And I gotta say, first impression, they look really good. Look exactly like it does on the box art, basically, which is good, which is what you hope for. Kind of interesting in here, there's also important precautions for electroplated parts. Guess it's letting you know there is going to be an odor, and for regarding part removal, that it may produce metallic dust. So it recommends using a mask, and then also looks like it's basically meaning to say that some of the electroplated parts might not fit properly just because of that added layer of plating on there. So that you should like strip some of like the pegs, basically just like to sand some of the pegs if they have that coating on there, just to make sure that stuff will fit. So I don't really anticipate that being much of an issue with this, but we will find out. The instruction manual looks like it's going to be the same instruction manual that we had before with the regular version. So it's not a different manual here for the gold version, basically just has a lot of the same artwork and stuff here on the inside. If you remember from this one, it had like half of the manual is just all this art and everything in here, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure if any of that is AI, but it certainly looks like some of that might be AI produced artwork. So I'm not too keen on that. If it is, I can't quite tell, but it kind of looks like it. There's our parts list. And then here is the construction. At the very end, we've got a decal guide there for where the decals are going to go around on the kit. And we've got those here in this little bag along with our card here. And it looks like the card is not going to be different. It would have been cool if it would have been the gold version in this little like chibi art here for the card, but it's just the same card that's in the regular version of the kit. That's unfortunate. And it looks like the small sheet of waterslide decals here are going to be mostly in gray with maybe a little bit of white as well. So also would have been nice if maybe these were in black or something. I feel like would have shown up better against the gold if you want to use these, but interesting. But so, okay, getting into our runners then, we've got our hand parts molded in a dark gray. We've got weapon holding hands, open expressive hands, and closed fists as normal. We've also got here in clear pink our beam saber effect parts here, 2 straight and then 1 curved one, which is really nice. And then I actually want to show you runners G and F first. So we've got 2 of runner G here and then 1 of runner F, more joint parts and all this here in gray as well. But these are that advanced polymer plastic for these. So you'll notice that the runners have a little bit different feel to them. It's certainly not anything like polycap material, but it's definitely a little bit softer. Kind of softer is not even the right word for it, but definitely more kind of resilient feeling plastic there, which is nice. And while we're here, we'll take a look at the rest of the non-gold runners here first. This is runner D. We've got 2 of those. And then runner E, also in gray, is going to be some parts here, it looks like. I think this is mostly for like the weapon, accessories, the lance, and the shield and stuff there. So all right, as for the gold-plated runners, here is runner A, which we have 2 of. And interestingly, there actually is a bit of a smell to these. It's not like super bad or anything, but when I first pulled the runners out of the bag, I could definitely smell it. So here's a close-up look at that. You can see that plating does shine very brightly, so it looks pretty nice. It's definitely going to be kind of hard to see some of the details, I think, on there, but I think that's just kind of part of the gimmick of it having this gold plating there. And aside from runner A, we also have runners B and C are also gold plated here in the same color, so there's not like multiple shades of gold plating here. As far as I can tell, it all looks basically the same, but it certainly does look very cool. I'm sure some of you are wondering also, is there undergating on these parts? And just taking a look here, it looks like some bits are undergated and some are not. So I would assume that it should be pretty well planned out so that parts anywhere where it might show that it's undergated, and if it's not going to show, then it's not undergated just because it doesn't really need to be. But I can see some parts like here, this is for like the back skirt, you can see this is not undergated, so that means probably there's going to be a little bit of a nub mark there on the side of that. We'll check that out in the review here. Once I have it all built up, we'll be able to see. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue, but we'll find out here in just a minute. Because that is it for the runners. Let me go ahead and get it built up and we'll check it out. All right, guys, then here is the kit all put together, and wow, it is very shiny. And yes, I am going to be wearing gloves throughout the review portion of this video just because it is going to be a fingerprint magnet just due to the fact that it is plated. So I've tried to wipe it clean as best as I can, and I'm going to try to keep it clean throughout the course of the review. But just something to keep in mind if you are planning on building this kit is that you might want to get some gloves or just be prepared to very carefully wipe it down before putting it into your display. And yeah, that little note that we had in the box about the fit of the gold parts, that was not for no reason. I did have some trouble getting this together, and I will talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, basically the gold plating does interfere with some of the connections on this, and you are going to have to do a little bit of sanding on some of the connections in order to get some of the parts to fit. But the end result here, as you can see, looks amazing, and we got some really cool accessories in here as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at those first, and then we'll talk some more about the kit. First of all, we've got our fixed pose option hands here. These are once again in that softer type plastic in that dark gray color fully. Would have been cool if we would have got new hands where the back of the hand would have been in gold as well, but you've got closed fists there, as well as some really nicely expressive open outstretched hands here like this, and then our weapon holding hands here as well. And the other thing about these hands being in that softer type plastic, unfortunately, that means we do also have you can see those little circles on there. It's from the mold ejector pins there, unfortunately. So those are going to take a little bit of work if you wanted to get them looking perfect for painting. For our other accessories here, then we've got our shield. There I am. You can even see me in the reflection. Look at that. And on the back side, this is just going to plug into the back of the arm. Nowhere does the shield actually fit into the hand, so your hands, both hands are still going to be free. This is just going to fit in the back of the arm. And you can see here's our 2 beam saber handles plugged onto the back. For those, we've got the 2 beam saber effect parts here, the straight clear pink ones, and then we've got a curved clear pink one as well, which is really cool. I kind of wish that we would also get 2 curved ones as well as 2 straight ones, because you can imagine doing some pose where you want to have it look like it's swinging both at the same time, in which case having 2 of these curved beam effects would be really nice. But if you have multiples of this kit, you could always borrow one from a different kit. That's true. We do once again have 2 different versions for the head. So you've got this head here, which is what I'm going to stick with, but you do have this option here that's got like a kind of different shaped crest, different shaped face there. It doesn't quite have that kind of like knight look with the armor there at the front. It has a little bit more, I don't know exactly what to call it, but anyway, different kind of shape there. And it's not the case that you can just swap like the front half of the head, because it's like the whole head goes together differently. So if you wanted to like keep this like longer part at the top and the back and then have the face of this one, you can't do that, unfortunately. But you do have 2 options there to choose from. We've got its lance weapon here, which looks really cool. The whole lance part being in gold, the whole back end just being there in gray. So this is going to plug into the back side of the arm there with that peg, and this fits into the hand here for like an underhanded grip, and then this part closes down over the top of that like so, to look at like it's kind of enclosed there in the hand. really cool accessory for sure. You could also just hang on to this part just as like a handle and just have it like a sort of like a swinging weapon, I suppose. But lastly, then we've got the spear, which is a double-ended spear, which can be separated there at the middle for just two smaller spears here like this. Alternatively, you have this single long handle like this, which is not meant to have a blade at each end, but you can just take one of the blades and just attach it into this handle here just to make like a single pointed end spear instead of it being like double-ended. So you got some really nice options there for that. But all right, so all that said, it's all the exact same accessories that came with the regular version. The main difference is just obviously going to be the gold paint, and that comes with its own set of pros and cons. Obviously, as I mentioned, it's going to be, you know, a fingerprint magnet, so that's going to be one issue. And then the other issue, as was laid out for us with the extra paper there in the box, is that yeah, it is going to have some fit issues, and also the smell. I mean, I noticed the smell when I first opened the bags, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. And also about like inhaling the gold dust. Yeah, maybe just throw like on an N95 mask while you're doing this, because you are going to have to shave some nubs, and that is going to create some of that like gold flake dust. Just to be on the safe side, you could wear a mask. I didn't. I probably should have, but I don't know. But yeah, anywhere where the gold parts fit together with a gray part, it's fine. It's not a problem. It's only an issue where gold parts fit together with gold parts. But yeah, just pay attention as you're going through the construction. If you're noticing it's going to be a part where it's a gold part's going to be fitting together with a gold part, you either have to drill out the female end of the connection point if it's just like a peg hole, or sand, file, or scrape the gold off of the peg fitting into the hole. I actually found that actually drilling out the holes was a lot easier. All the holes seem to be like kind of standard size. So if you have just like a drill set with, I think most of them were either 1.5 or 2 millimeter hole sizes, you can find that that actually works really well. And I didn't find it to be the case that after drilling the holes, then the connection was like too loose. So if you can find a drill size that actually like fits, if you find it like that it's going to fit pretty well in the hole, that's much easier than sanding down a peg. But again, you kind of just have to pay attention to what you're doing along the way. And there is going to be some visible nub marks here, like on the bottom of the feet. You can see there's a couple there. For the most part, they're not that noticeable though. And a lot of that is just due to just kind of how shiny the surface is. It's really kind of hard to see a whole lot of anything, but you can't really see most of the nubs on this. Everything, for the most part, yes, pretty hidden in there. And so just to wrap up the review then, here we'll take a look at the kit in a few different poses. Basically, what I would say to you guys is that, yeah, this version took a little bit of extra work because of that gold coating, and then it takes a little bit of extra care, like in posing it too, like having to wear gloves or whatever, just to try to keep the fingerprints off of it. That said, I think it's worth all of that just because of how good this looks. It's a great kit no matter what color. I previously reviewed the kit in the gray color version, and I did really like how this kit looks. If you're not so much a fan of the gold and you kind of don't want to hassle with it, then I would recommend getting another version of it. There's a couple of different color versions of this kit. I would highly recommend it to you guys. So if you've not gotten any version of the kit yet, then maybe just choose whichever color version you like the most. But the other thing that I think is really worth mentioning here is the price of this kit. Even though this is gold plated, which typically when it comes to any other kits from Bandai in particular, usually the formula for gold plating is you can assume that the price is going to be about double the price of what it would be without plating. So if you've got like an HG kit that's around like 2,500 yen, expect the plated version to be around 5,000 yen. It's usually a pretty solid method for gauging the pricing of plated kits when it comes to those from Bandai. But you'll notice with this kit, that's certainly not the case. Even though this is gold plated, the price on it is still very low. So it kind of makes you be a bit suspicious maybe of Bandai's processes and their pricing anyway. But all I would tell you guys is that if this was a Bandai kit and it was costing twice as much for the plated version, I would say, you know, it's really only kind of for the collectors. But in this case, even though it's plated, it's not that much more expensive, and so it doesn't really make it necessarily like a collector's kit. It's very affordable still, even though it's got that gold plating on there, and it's really nice. The only thing that I wish that it had was some kind of action base, but it does have a hard point underneath the waist section for connecting onto just a typical Bandai action base. So as long as you got an action base that you can use with this, it'll work. And either way, in like a flying or jumping, like elevated pose, it looks great, but even on the ground, it looks great as well. It's a really, really good looking kit. I think that the only thing that maybe could have been interesting with this is maybe if they had like multiple shades of gold on it, which I'm still pretty sure there's not, unless it's like so subtle that I just really can't tell. But I think the gold really matches with the kind of regal sort of knight style of the design of this, so I'm really looking forward to seeing if Sheik Mainland is going to maybe do this with any other releases maybe in the future. It would be cool to see. It'd be cool to see something done like other than gold and maybe just like a chrome silver or something like that. I don't know. But as for myself, I'm typically not really into a lot of like plated kits, but these are the kind of kits that I can definitely enjoy. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and if you want to pick up the kit for yourself or any of the other versions or anything else from Sheik Mainland. A lot of really great stuff coming out from this company recently, guys. Definitely check them out. You know, you can check out everything there at USA Gundam Store. The link is down in the video description just below the video as always. So check out all the stuff there on the website. I highly recommend these to you guys. Any of the Ultra Action series have been really, really cool. And then they also have their 3-minute project releases that are doing really cool stuff as well. So we're going to be taking a look at the Fenrir, one of the latest releases in that line, actually very soon. I'm working on that video as well, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed yet, as that video will be coming out in the near future. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, do make sure to leave a like as well. I really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you so much. Until next time, hope y'all are doing well. See you guys later. Bye-bye.